Students, in our last lecture, we have studied about charging by induction. Also, we have gone through example number 1.1, which is also nothing but the second process of charging by induction. Then, we have also studied the basic properties of electric charge, in which we have seen what is additivity of charge, charge conservation, and quantization of charge. Remember, this formula is very important. Q is equal to Ne. And also we know that here in this formula, Q is our total charge, N is an integer, and E is a fundamental unit of charge. Also, we know that the value of E is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. That is, this much charge is acquired by either electron or a proton. But we must remember that electron is having negative charge and proton is having a positive charge. Now, in today's lecture, we'll solve example number 1.2. Now, students, here in this example, it is given that there are two bodies, and from one body electrons they are moving to the other body, and here the rate of movement of these electrons from one body to other body is given. It is given that in every second 10 raised to 9 electrons they are moving from one body to other, and hence here we are going to find the time required to get the total charge of 1 coulomb on the other body. Okay, so first of all, let us see which conditions are given. Now here, given that in 1 second 10 raised to 9 electrons are moving from one body to other body, we are supposed to find the time required to get 1 coulomb charge on the other body. Now here charge is given in coulomb, time is in second. Given that in 1 second 10 raised to 9 electrons are moving on a other body, so in how much time 1 coulomb charge gets deposited, that we have to find. So cross multiplication, mathematically we know that if we want to find this time, then this should be in the denominator, and those things which are given here 1 1 they should be multiplied. So t is equal to 1 multiplied by 1. See here, this 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to 9. Here we know that this E is a fundamental unit of charge, and its value in coulomb is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So 10 raised to 9 into value of E we have kept here. So after calculation you will get the time in second. Same you can convert in years. Now let us see how we can convert second to minute, minute to hour, and hour to days, and then days to years. To convert second to minute, we have to divide it by 60. To convert minute to hour,
Again we have to divide minutes by 60. To convert hour to day, we have to divide it by 24, and to convert days to years, we have to divide it by 365.25.
Now let us move to our next example. Example number 1.3. Statement given is how much positive and negative charge is there in a cup of water. Means if we take a water in one cup, then how much positive charge is present in that one cup of water, or a negative charge is present in that one cup of water. Now let us consider that in a one cup 250 gram of water can be consisted. We know that the molecular mass of H2O is 18 gram. So now first of all we will find the number of H2O molecules in one cup of water. So to find the total number of molecules of H2O, we know that we have to multiply the actual mass of water, that is 250 gram, with Avogadro's number Na, and then if we divide it by the molecular mass, then we can get the total number of H2O molecules in that one cup of water. This is also not new for you. This also you have studied it in 11th standard, that how we can find the total number of molecules if the actual mass and the molecular mass they are given. Now how to find the molecular mass of H2O? We know that in a molecule of water there are two hydrogen and one oxygen. Hydrogen has atomic mass 1 and oxygen has atomic mass 16. So 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen plus atomic mass of oxygen, and hence the molecular mass of H2O is obtained to be 18. So let us give this equation number 1, which gives the number of H2O molecules in one cup of water. Now next is about how many electrons are there in a one molecule of water. We know that hydrogen, its atomic number is 1, so it consists of one electron as well as one proton. Similarly, in oxygen there are 8 electrons as well as 8 protons. Here I have shown that electrons as well as protons, they are same in any atom or in any molecule. So in this way we can find the total number of electrons in a H2O molecules. Now we have total number of electrons in one molecule of H2O, as well as we have total number of H2O molecules in a cup of water. Hence the total charge Q present in a cup of water will be 10 into N into E. What is 10 here? So 10 is number of electrons or protons in a molecule of H2O. What is N here? It is the total number of molecules in one cup of water. And what is E here? E is a fundamental unit of charge and its value is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So now if we'll put all these values and calculate, we'll get the answer. Q is equal to 1.34 into 10 raised to 7 coulomb. Now calculation part. Total charge Q is equal to 10 into total number of molecules of H2O from equation number 1 and E, fundamental unit of charge. Here this 10 into n will give you the total number of electrons or protons, and if this is multiplied with the charge of an electron or a proton, then we can get the total number of charge. Now 10 into, from equation 1, n means it is Na, Avogadro's number, into m, capital M, means it is a total mass of 1 cup of water, upon small m, means it is molecular mass, that was 18 gram, into charge of an electron or a proton, that is E, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. All these values, small m, capital M, E, Na, Avogadro's number, that is given in your textbook, it is 6.02 into 10 raised to 23. So after calculation we will get this as 1.34 into 10 raised to 7 coulomb. So this is all about example number 1.3. Students, I'll send you the PDF of these examples as well as the previous theories today.